Hi, I'm Chloe.
Hi, I'm Abby.
And we're third year education and psychology students. Today we're going to be talking you through some tips of how to study effectively in a group.
How do you go about organising a study group?
So first of all, you need to find a group of people that you'll study well with and that will motivate you, not distract you when you're studying. The second thing you could do is send out a calendar invite once you've agreed a time with everybody, and that way nobody forgets that you're supposed to be studying at that point. The next thing is setting expectations. So is there a pre-reading that you need to do before you arrive so that everybody's on the same topic? Or do you need to book a room? So it could be that you book a specific study pod in the library, for example, or you book a room in the maths department. Think about these things before you get together with your study group, and that way you'll be organised by the time you get there.
Hi Abby, can you give me some tips about how to stay focused?
Yeah, so it can be difficult to stay focused when you're studying with your friends, as it can be tempting to want to have a catch up. If this is something that you think you might end up doing, it might be worth scheduling 5-10 minutes first to talk about your weeks before eventually starting. When you do start, you might want to come up with some aims for the session, decide whether you're all going to have the same aims or if you all want to get slightly different things done. You might even want to write these down so that you can hold each other accountable. After this, you might want to decide how long you're going to work for. So, for example, you might decide to work for 25 minutes and then schedule in a 5-minute break. And then during the times that you are working, try and hold each other accountable to stop anyone from getting distracted. How do you make the most of studying in a group?
So when you're studying in a group, be enthusiastic with other people in your group. You can motivate them if they're struggling and offer support. Another great thing about studying in a group is if you're studying the same topic or you're studying the same module, you could split things up and then share the ideas. So one good way of doing this is if you've got like 8 papers to study, you could go away and each read some of those papers and come back and share those ideas. Another good thing is utilising the space. So have you got a whiteboard that you could use and you could make a mind map or a concept map? Or have you got a screen in the room you're in and you could project your laptop onto the screen? Another good way to study might be using a board game or a card game that you could adapt to fit in with the topic you're studying for, and this will ensure that you make the most of studying in a group.
What can you do at the end of the session to get ready for the next session?
So at the end of your session, you might like to share a few points about what happened in that session so that you know what to do again and what you might want to do differently. So for example, you could share what you found helpful, what you achieved and what you'd like to achieve next time. You could then talk about whether the room that you were in worked for you, whether you'd want to book the same or a similar room or whether you'd like to try something else. And then also decide the next date that you want to meet up again and whether you want to make it a regular thing. So for example, you might decide that you want to set up a regular study meeting every week. You can then ask someone to set up a calendar invite so that everyone is reminded again. We hope that you found these tips helpful. Good luck on your next group study session.
Bye!